This podcast was created as a part of Podcast Lab by India Film Project in association with Anchor by Spotify. If I told you that you could eliminate your Spotify and YouTube ads, would you believe me? Or if I told you that you could be paying up to $25 a month extra to view ads on your internet bill, would you still believe me? No. But you might after this episode ends. Stay tuned to know more. Hello, my name is Anshuman Sharma and you have tuned into What's in Altverse. It is a show where I talk about unique projects that have carved out their niches in the growing decentralized world. Every week, I'll talk about an altcoin for your growth investing. Keep listening to know more. This week's episode is about the basic attention token, or as we like to call it, the Brave Rewards. BAT is a decentralized token that powers a new age of digital advertisements, which is as rewarding to the advertiser as it is to the user. Yes, we as users are kept in the same equation. So how did this token came into existence? Let's talk about this first. Let's address the problem here. We all know that digital advertisement is broken. We as users are bombarded with ads on each web page that we visit, which are mostly irrelevant to our needs. You might have come across ads which say that you could be a millionaire in 21 days. Or one which says that your neighbor, who's 18 years old, is earning $1 million a month. Yes, those advertisements are malvertisements. Please don't click on them. They are the result of a broken system. These digital agencies target anyone and everyone who comes across in their radar. These ads are not targeted to a specific audience. They eat up the precious time and attention that we as users spend on looking out for content. This essentially means that our attention is misused by tech giants. Add to this the fact that this marketplace is overrun by middlemen, ad exchanges, their complicated behavior, cross-device user tracking, and opaque data management platforms. But how did this problem even begin, or why does it even persist in today's day and age? So you see, the ad tech promised to create a more efficient marketplace for attention and reward users for their attention. It had to create a system with the promise of higher speed and better information that we as users, when we look out for content or when we search for anything, we are targeted with ads that support our search query. One of its main aim was to target potential audience with user data and provide definitive messages to them instantly, but that obviously did not happen. Increased participation of the middlemen with an extensively complex revenue generation system, the ad tech space is no less than a chaos. Of its most widely accepted disadvantages are we as users losing our privacy, publishers losing their revenue to middlemen, and advertisers facing poor targeting and statistics. This has all created a bias towards big tech giants that can spend huge sums of money to get this cranked wheel going. So now that we know how did this problem began or why does this problem persist, let's understand its effect on various stakeholders in a digital advertisement. So you see, there are three major stakeholders during the promotion of a digital advertisement: the publisher, the advertiser, and the user. On publishers, the harmful effect of digital advertisement is that the number of intermediary costs like ad serving fees, operational fees, publishers' analytic tools, etc. have all risen. They face the direct costs of user complaints and have absolutely no control over malvertisements due to a complex work network of agencies. We've already seen how advertisers face poor targeting and statistics. So let's get down and understand what effect does it have on end users. Mind you will be surprised to know that many of which you did not even notice. First and foremost, it detracts user from an experience that was curated by those front-end developers that managed those websites in a way that gives you the best possible experience. Second of all, there are humongous data transfers for downloading ads and trackers, which takes up on your data plan, your battery life, and it even slows down the page loading time. A study by Pew Research reported as much as 91% of people agreeing to losing control over their personal information to these companies. They encounter malvertisements, fake ads that trick them into clicking on them and downloading malicious codes. Another research by Business Intelligence says that 79% of mobile data, mind you, 79% of mobile data is used to download ads instead of the content. With this, an average user in the United States pays almost $25 a month extra to download ads, trackers, and other related data. One study by New York Times studied significant download times across top 50 publishing sites in one of their research. They found that removing ads saved more than 5 seconds of loading time on mobile data connection. That is exactly the same amount of time that you have before you pick up a fallen apple. Just kidding. This has led to malvertisements, load times, data costs, battery life, and privacy loss as major concerns of today's advertisements when browsing. Therefore, people have resorted to using ad blocking softwares, and these ad blocking softwares rid stakeholders of their revenue and have only burdened the end consumer. Because you go out on the internet, download these ad blocking softwares with you being clueless about their privacy protection. They might record your browsing data, they might track you on the internet and create a user profile, which in turn means the same thing. I know you must be curious to learn more about that rather than the context that I'm setting up, but this is important. It is important to help you understand why this project even exists. Because when you understand the why of the product or the problem that it wishes to solve, you are better able to evaluate its future prospects. So let's address the solution and find out how BAT solves the problem. So you see, we have understood till now that our attention, the user attention, is valuable, but it hasn't been properly priced with an efficient and transparent market system. We as users suffer from a form of electronic pollution. Yes, you heard that right. Electronic pollution, which consists of threat to their security, threats to their privacy, costs in inefficient download times, financial costs in extra mobile data fees, and in the case of many ads, excessive cost to their attention. In an information-rich world, wealth of information means dearth of something else, which in this case is users' attention. The basic attention token is part of Brave ecosystem. What is Brave? Brave is a fast, open-source, privacy-focused browser that blocks invasive ads and trackers and contains a distributed ledger system that anonymously measures your attention to accurately reward you and publishers. That's right, it rewards you and publishers. It is supported by the BAT. BAT connects advertisers, publishers, and users, creating a new and efficient marketplace. This token is used to reward users for viewing ads based on their preference and frequency. It is an ERC20 token. It is fundamentally derived from the user's attention. It can be thought of as, if the user's attention was a currency, BAT would be its token. Brave is able to manage all of your data on a distributed ledger, which resides right in your computer using an on-device machine learning to match relevant ads to the content. Brave issues its own catalog of ads frequently, which is downloaded by the Brave browser on your computer. Now the browser in your computer is storing your data on the device itself, which is never transmitted to any central server. This form of data contains your browsing activity, for example, time spent on a particular site or cross-site activities, users' personalization settings, and their rewards data, which is calculated based on the above-mentioned factor. It has a limited supply of 1.5 billion units, with all of them currently floating in the market, so you don't need to mine any of those. Brave rewards users for their attention if they choose to view personalized ads. These ads are matched with the Brave ledger. You might have a question: when all of this was about eliminating ads, why have we come down to ads? So this is not exactly the ads that you have seen or that we were talking about earlier. These ads are small notifications in classical print-style advertisements with only texts, unlike those clunky images and videos written advertisements you see when visiting a website. You might have seen a flat for sale ad, a car for sale ad in your advertisements section in the newspaper. Brave's ads are just like that. And above all, you have the option to opt in of the Brave reward system to view your personalized ads, and you have the option to opt out of the Brave reward system and to not view those personalized ads. Users also have the option to control the frequency of these ads. So how does Brave facilitate its personalized ads and distribute BAT in its ecosystem? Brave issues its own catalog of ads frequently. This catalog is downloaded by the Brave browser right on your computer. So now when Brave browser stores your browsing activity or your personalization settings or your frequently visited sites. This activity is then fed into a machine learning algorithm which recognizes your tastes and matches it with the catalog. This was how you received your personalized ads. But how are the ads loaded on the Brave ecosystem? In simpler terms, the advertisers pay Brave either in fiat or BAT tokens, which are sent over to the users in a locked state. This state has a predefined set of rules which govern how many tokens a stakeholder receives. As the user views the ad, the flow of the payment unlocks, keeping part of the payment for their own wallet and passing on shares of the payment to Brave and remainder on to the publisher. These tokens can be used to tip your favorite content creators and support them, enhancing the ecosystem, or can be taken out of the system to your wallets. It could be a MetaMask wallet, it could be your Trust wallet, any hardware wallet. This enables a smooth subscription service, which otherwise is tedious and cost-ridden. People at Brave believe that by tracking user data and storing it in a distributed ledger will enhance the overall experience of the digital advertising economy, benefiting everyone from publishers to advertisers and to the users. Users will experience ads that are tailored to their tastes. The company envisions making users an important and active part of the advertising and publishing economy rather than the passive participants they are presently treated as. Brave wants to create an equitable system that benefits everyone in the supply chain. Let us get the hang of the team that created Brave. Brave was co-founded by CEO Brendan Eich and CTO Brian Bondi in 2015. It later assumed the shape of a browser we know of and the BAT project. Brendan Eich co-founded the Mozilla project, which houses the Firefox browser, one of the pioneers of the privacy-focused browsers. He also created the JavaScript in 10 days. He and Brian Bondi realized that Mozilla was really dependent on Google for its revenue. They found out that these browsers track you everywhere and cache in your private data for their own enterprise. They were driven to protect users' privacy and to create a better attention-focused ecosystem. So they created Brave. Enough of the research, enough of the fundamental knowledge. Let's get to the tokenomics of this project. Brave browser had 38.9 million monthly active users for the month of September and 13.4 million daily active users for the same period. There are currently 7.8 million BAT wallets with a total transaction volume of 3.43 million. Huge. Brave's daily active users database has grown from around 2 million on 2nd of June 2019 to about 13.4 million on 2nd September 2021. There are over 1 million creators on the Brave ecosystem, with over 600,000 YouTube verified creators and 41,000 GitHub creators. Brave purchased around $1 million worth of BAT last month to reward users for viewing ads. Some quick facts about the BAT token. 84% hodlers are making money at the current price of the token. This means that their average cost is less than the coin's current price. 69% of these hodlers have held these coins for over a year. The total unique addresses holding BAT have increased linearly in the past 3 months, with top 100 hodlers currently owning around 74% of the total market supply and top 10 hodlers owning a whopping 32%. Just for your reference, for the past year, S&P 500 grew by 27%, whereas BAT grew by 244%. Also, Grayscale Investments launched a BAT trust on February 26, 2021, which currently has $4.5 million of assets under management and has generated 46.73% returns since its inception. This is a great time to discuss the community of this project. We all know that cryptocurrencies are heavily dependent on their communities. BAT's subreddit was my first exposure to a community online. I may be a little biased here, but the people here truly believe in the project and are willing to contribute in every way possible. There are frequent community calls and AMA sessions with Brendan Eich. These sessions are insightful and people can express their views and ask about future developments. With this, we come to a conclusion where I talk about my take on this project. I have been using this browser since March 2021. The experience for me has been very fluid. I don't have to play around with ads and worry about my mobile data anymore until I got a broadband. What's more satisfying is that there are no ads even on YouTube. You earn tokens for viewing ads, you do not receive irritable ads, your web pages load faster, you cut down on time and costs. I think this is truly the brighter side of decentralization and cryptos. I have saved close to 7 gigabytes of mobile data and close to 10 hours of browsing time across different devices that have Brave right now. This is a massive number, at least for me, while earning close to 50 bats. So you see, Brave is more than a browser. It defends your data on your devices and synchronizes your personal and private browsing profiles across devices using client-side encryption. Your data, studied and abstracted by on-device only machine learning, provides you with private and anonymous options to get compensated for your attention. Brave cuts out all third-party trackers and middle players, eliminating data leakage, malware risk, and excessive fee taking. Brave does this while providing publishers with a substantially larger revenue share than they are receiving in existing inefficient and opaque marketplaces. Brave thus aims to reset the online ad-based web ecosystem, giving advertisers, publishers, and customers a win-win solution whose components and protocols can become future web standards. That's it for today's episode. I hope you liked this episode. If you did, please do not forget to rate it on Apple Podcasts, for Spotify, Google Podcasts, and other major platforms. Guys, I just want you to subscribe to this podcast on those platforms so you see me in your feed every time I come up with a new project. I'll leave all the social media handles in the description box below, along with the resources that I used to make this episode. Until next time, stay tuned and discover your portfolio.